back to another edition of 8 Good Minutes. And as your host, I'm always excited about every episode that we do. Today, however, I'm extra excited. Not only because Allison has handed me a great subject, but we have two great guests today. Shannon Barquette returning to the show.
Thank you.
Fan favorite. You've been
Happy
on
to
many
be here.
times. Yes. I think that on the internet, social, people give you the smiley emoji. They want you back.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah. And Bobby Noonan's a little new to the show. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Thank you, sir. First time, yep.
First time, long time?
Oh, yeah.
Long time
More
listener.
to come, though.
More to come?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they'll want you back for some more for sure. This week on 8 Good Minutes, which goes by very fast, but it's always a great show, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, client service. And today's subject especially dives into creating a reputation that's worth talking about. So what we want to talk about today is how do you become noteworthy? How do you do things in a client service environment where people want to go and tell their friend, hey, it's unbelievable. Like this is what happened when I talked to Shannon on the phone over at Hall Financial or Bobby over at Hall Financial, because we take a lot of pride in the fact that we've gotten over 5,000 5-star reviews. Next stop for us is 10,000 5-star reviews. And Shannon, I just thought maybe, to kick off the show, you'd share maybe just a few things that come to mind when you think of, creating a reputation worth talking about.
So I think the number one thing is listening to your client. You have to listen to what their needs are and following through with it. It seems complicated, but it's so easy. If you tell them you're going to call them back in 20 minutes, call them back in 20 minutes. If you tell them, well, let's just say in our industry, appraisal's due tomorrow, and it's not, you don't have it yet, call them and let them know. I think people are so afraid of making a mistake, and they confuse that with 5-star service.
Yeah, and I think when you say listening, I just want to, add to that active listening. I think people sometimes, you get the sense you're talking to somebody, they're listening, but are they like hearing what I'm saying? I think being an active listener is extremely critical.
That is a good one.
And you're very good at that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's one of your strengths. Bob, what comes to mind for you?
Kind of piggybacking off of Shannon is obviously active listening, but also then setting the proper expectations, kind of like she alluded to, and following through on the expectations that you just set. And then for me personally, I'm big on just availability. So I make it a point for my clients to know I'm going to be available for you 7 days a week, 8 to 8, and do not hesitate because I'm going to be available for you. So call me, text me. I am here to help you, and I would need them to know that. So it starts there for me.
It's interesting because I feel like a lot of people say that, but not a lot of people follow through on that.
Yes.
And I think that how is it, I think it's hard for a consumer to decide, okay, this is my guy or this is my gal. Like I'm going with them because, I like what they had to say. I guess the main thing that I'm trying to think of how I do it when I do things, but it's like you can kind of tell the genuineness of somebody who says it and they really mean it versus somebody who, they're just saying it. Because most people, in my view, that say that, they don't really mean that. I know you do because I've gotten so many rave reviews from your clients. Yes. And separation on that is a really important thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shannon, just real quickly, because you deal within the operation, talking to clients. When everything goes great, everything's great, right?
Yes.
But sometimes when there's a hiccup, an appraisal comes in low, or there's an inspection that both realtors are talking about and trying to negotiate, there's a lot of stress involved there. What do you find that you do either with the client or with realtors that is sort of, I don't know if it's your cornerstone, your key thing that you try to do where, you're bringing people together and you're making everybody feel good about what's going on? That's the essence of sort of being noteworthy and being different. Is there anything that you focus on?
Honesty and just being reliable, kind of like what Bobby said.
Yeah.
And just follow through with what I say, and there's no pointing the fingers. You have to accept if there was an issue, if somebody on our team made a mistake, you accept it. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry we made a mistake, but now we're going to fix it. We're
Right.
going to move forward and just, be honest and help them fix whatever issues come up.
The one thing that drives me crazy, you just triggered it, is when I'm in any kind of a situation where when I'm the consumer and I talk to somebody at the organization, whatever it may be, I want you to comment on this, Bob, because I know you'll like this, is that I feel like they won't just like kind of admit they made a mistake. They get defensive, or they make me feel like I'm wrong. I mean, that's the one that drives me crazy. I'm like, wait a second, I'm trying to buy something from you here, and they almost make it feel like that you're inconveniencing them in some way. It drives me nuts.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're human, right? It's as simple as that. We're gonna make mistakes, and so it's owning up to it and correcting it when it does happen, because it is gonna happen. That's the truth, right? So how do you overcome that? That's the bigger thing to me. And like Shannon said, it's honesty. Be honest and overcome it and help them through it.
In my early days in business, somebody taught me this. I don't remember who said it to me, but it really stuck with me for the next 20-some years. And that is that for all the transactions that you do that go really smooth, that's great, and you want that. But you really make your mark on people when something does go wrong. And I always thought that, because like you never want anything to go wrong, especially when you're new in a business or you're young. You're like, things go wrong. I don't like the way that feels. But then I soon realized that the adversity allowed me to be noteworthy to some degree, like how I handled it and how, the consumer sort of perceived my role in trying to help them. That was where I maybe got more referral business or more kudos from the client because something had gone. Have you guys experienced that same thing?
Yeah, I would say the most memorable ones, like you said, where you have constant contact with these clients is when we help them through a tough situation.
Right.
It helps build a really, really personal relationship with them, and it sticks moving forward, which is something that makes me just love what I do and want to continue doing what I do.
Yeah. Shannon?
Yeah, I think it's our clients, it's the vendors we deal with, it's underwriters we talk to. I think everybody's feedback is all the same. It's how we treat them. We treat them with respect. We make them feel good. So it's like you always say, we're client service business that just happens to do mortgages. Isn't that saying? Yeah. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. I do. I've always thought that we're in the client service business. We just happen to be doing mortgages. I feel like if we went and did something else, a lot of the principles of how we do things would be the same. We would just be talking about a different type of product that we would potentially be consulting folks about. So, all right, last thing, I'll get you out of here on this because it goes fast. One piece of advice that you could give somebody new in a business about how to create a reputation worth talking about. Just one thing you could tell them. Shannon, I'll start with you, then I'll go to you, Bob. What would you say?
Be honest.
Be honest. Okay.
I'm going back to availability. It's something I preach, and it is true. Not everyone does it, but 8 to 8, 7 days a week, call me. I'm going to be available for you.
Yeah, and it's all the things you do, really, and it's how you sort of not position yourself is not what I want to say, but just all the things that you do are what create the reputation we're talking about. But I always like a good takeaway, and I think honesty and availability are two huge ones, and I totally agree with that. Thanks for joining the show, Allison. Great subject. Thank you. Yeah, you'll be back for sure. This is going to be a fan favorite. We'll let you know how many smiley emojis we get, right, Ben? For sure. For everybody at 8 Good Minutes, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.